Extreme weather events are costly, and so far this year, they've been more costly than ever. A database run by the nonprofit group Climate Central found 14 extreme weather disasters, including the most costly of them, the California wildfires, occurred from January to June. Price tag, more than $100 billion in damages. Worth noting, this database was revived by scientists at Climate Central after the Trump administration decommissioned it earlier this year. I want to bring in environmental correspondent David Schechter. David, always great to see you. How did this database die, and then how was it revived outside of the federal government?
Well, I mean, this is a list that's been tracked for many, many years, 30 years or more, tracking these billion-dollar events. The significance of the list is that it shows how our climate is getting warmer. There's a corresponding increase with disasters as the planet gets warmer. That's because climate change, which isn't the cause of hurricanes or floods or fires, does frequently make these events more destructive. So the Trump administration stopped updating the federal database. They said their priorities had shifted, but critics say that this was really a part of an overall push by the administration to de-emphasize climate science. Now, as you mentioned, this nonprofit, Climate Central, has taken over the task, and the scientist at the federal government who was doing this has now moved over to Climate Central, took the buyout over there, thought this work was so important that he'd take a new job and keep this going, and they have private funding for it.
And of course, removing that from a government database doesn't mean the disasters don't occur and doesn't mean the insurance costs and the payouts don't have to happen. What are the drivers of these big events we've seen this year, David?
That's so true. You know, so this year there have been 14 disasters that blew well past the $1 billion threshold. Makes the $1 billion threshold look just pretty small, honestly. Killed 174 people. We're talking about tornado outbreaks. We're talking about severe storms. We're talking about flooding. You can see these locations around the country. What people will really remember the most was in January over there in California. Those fires in early January cost $61 billion of damage. A recent study found those fires and the dry conditions that fueled those fires were made 35% more likely because of climate change. So we could stop publishing this data on federal databases, but the problem obviously still continues.
And David, just to remind the audience, the connection between higher temperatures and extreme weather events.
Oh, it's my favorite question. You know, it's pretty basic. It is very basic science, in fact. Like when you have warmer air in the atmosphere, warmer air can hold more moisture. So that's going to create more rainfall and more intense storms, and that's what we see. And on the other hand, you have these drier conditions, hotter conditions. It makes the soils drier. It leads to more droughts. It leads to more fires. The science is really basic. We've known it for a very long time. And as you can see on this map, or on this chart that we had on the screen, that we are getting, the outcome is we're getting more billion-dollar disasters fueled by climate change, not causing these problems, but fueling these problems.
David Schechter, always a pleasure. You break it down simply, brilliantly, and memorably. I appreciate the time very much, sir. Thank you.